Hello, beautiful souls. We start again. I was interrupted with a phone call, so we're going to start over. So welcome in. Welcome in or welcome back. It is April 1st, 2026. We are currently in this portal energy of this super pink full moon. All right. We are welcoming in all of the elementals, the earth, the air, the wind, the fire, the water, all of the nature spirits, all of our team members of unconditional love and light. They're only welcome in this space, that are working with us for our highest and best always. So thank you for clicking play, adding in your specific frequency, energy, flavor, color, and essence, paying your attention to whatever you didn't know you were ready to receive today, whether it's activations, confirmations, more signs, more synchronicities, more key codes to decode or to recode, to reprogram, whatever it is, it's perfect, right? And this is always thrown with divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine remembrance, and this beautiful divine magic, because you are magic. And your team, your highest, what you coded yourself with, has been showing you this magic more and more and more. It's becoming more and more intense, especially if you landed here 1111. You have been receiving the signs, the synchronicities, the key codes, the keywords. You've been hearing these on repeat, whether it's in the wild, through the media, through social media, through watching movies, through your kids speaking certain words. You're seeing it, you're hearing it, feeling it, you just know it, right? And it's picking up. And it's, again, I think it's picking up for a lot of reasons, but the biggest part, if there's any parts of your ego that are still trying to convince you otherwise, it's just giving validation and proof here in the physical realm. But again, it is all coding. You coded yourself perfectly. Everyone coded themselves to receive certain things in certain specific ways, okay? Whether that's all of the numbers, all of the animals, all of the colors, all of like the crystal synchronicities, flowers, birds, whatever it is. You're seeing this on repeat. I guarantee it. 200 and then 202. All right. So I woke up at 2 a.m. on the money. So that's 200. I haven't looked up that specific number, but then I was checking in with my partner who's 5,000 miles away, because I felt like this Paul called to ask how he was doing. He didn't respond, and that was at 2 a.m. And so there's significance. So you've got 2222. Okay. So there's significance there. And then as I woke up suddenly, I also faintly in my clairaudience heard a door slam, like in my clairaudience. Like it wasn't like in a dream, because I was awake. I abruptly woke up, looked at the time, and then closed my eyes and heard a door faintly slam. So you're seeing key codes and signs and synchronicities. You're hearing the word door, doorway, doors opening or doors slamming shut, no more access, new access type of knowings, visualizations, whatever it is. So let's play with these key codes. We've been doing this a lot. Let's just have fun. Get a piece of paper, get your journal, whatever it is, and we're gonna just call out some stuff, and then you're gonna write it down, and then if you feel called to, go decode it, or just write it down for confirmation that you know that you've been seeing these specific things on repeat. But it's pulling in through your clear vision, whether you see it right now with your eyes, it comes into your third eye, or if it's a clear knowing of something, you hear something, whatever's triggering you to write that down, it's perfect, because that's how your highest is getting you to pay your attention, okay? So thank you for paying your attention to something different than the bullshit and the nonsense, so welcome. And again, we are weaving this beautiful tapestry, so you, by clicking play and me clicking record, we are now not just my own frequency, energy, flavor, color, and essence is in this specific channeled message, this information, but so is yours now, and the next person and the next person and the next person that receives it. We're all weaving this beautiful tapestry, all right? So that's sacred work right there in itself, right? So when you pay your attention to another sacred podcast or another channel or a tarot reading, you are, just by you paying your attention to that, we are weaving in those tapestries together, and now your frequency, energy, flavor, color, and essence is woven in the field as well, whether you realize that or not. So welcome. So we're going to go through, and this can come in different ways. So if you've been seeing animals on repeat, numbers on repeat, write those down, but we're going to call these off. So if you've been seeing animals on repeat, write that down. If something just drops in, that's perfect. That's your clear knowing. I would go with that. Don't question it. Just write it down. Kind of breathe and clear your space. What numbers are you seeing on repeat? And I would say it doesn't have to be one group. If it's a combination, write that down. These are locks. These are combinations. These are codes to unlock things a little more deeply. What animals are you seeing on repeat? Birds, butterflies, cats, dogs, fish, whales, whatever it is, it's perfect. Write it down. Unicorns, dragons, whatever it is, it's perfect. And it could be a couple of different ones you're seeing on repeat, or you just clearly know, right? So every morning I kindly just getting clear knowing, and then that's how I've been decoding. All right. What colors are coming on repeat? Like, are you seeing the blues and the purples, the indigos, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the rainbows, whatever it is, that's perfect. What colors, pinks, whatever, you know, it's the pink full moon. What colors are coming on repeat? What flowers are you seeing on repeat? What colors of the flowers are you seeing on repeat? What crystals are you tapping into? It's all perfect. So just have fun with this and play with it, okay? What elemental are you connecting with? So Libras are very air, but a lot of air and fire energy coming in this past month. A lot of water and fire energy was coming in as well. And we know with full moons, that's clearing, that's emotions, that's crying, that's detoxing, maybe a lot of blowing of the nose, bringing up mucus. There's a lot of that water energy. Maybe you're called to take a sacred bath, get out into nature, get into a body of water. It's all perfect. So now you've got your combination, your codes, and now when you get the time, if you feel called to, go decode that and see what messages are in there, because it's guaranteed there's going to be deeper information or confirmation that you already know. Or me just calling these specific things out or saying, oh yeah, I've been seeing this on repeat, and now that's showing me this even more and more that you are in alignment. So when you're seeing this more intense pickup and you're seeing these confirmations, keys, key codes, keywords, and things showing up on repeat, it just is your team telling you that you're in alignment or not in alignment. It can go either way, right? But guarantee if you're here, you're I'm going to guess you're probably pretty well much in alignment, okay? All right. All right. All right, here we go. So I'm trying to get back to where I was before I got distracted with the phone call that was an oopsie call. But again, there's no coincidence, okay? All right. So at the beginning of the month in March, the quantum key code was emergence. And I talked a little bit about the video yesterday. So I'm going to talk about this real quick, and we're going to just put you through an activation, and you're going to do this as well. You're going to activate yourself, okay? So knowing is power. So know this, knowing is power, knowledge is power, wisdom is power, right? Quantum emergence is the key code. So this energy is the becoming before the evidence appears. So you already know, you can already feel this energy, all right? It's already becoming, you are becoming, but maybe the evidence hasn't quite appeared in this 3D reality, right? It hasn't quite manifested yet, all right? So it is stepping into the version of you that is already existing in the unseen. So what you have been doing, what we've been doing is stepping into these versions of ourselves that already exist in the unseen, right? It already exists, and you know this, okay? So you might be experiencing rapid spiritual upgrades and needing more time for integration, right? Because you've been recalibrating, all right? Recoding, reprogramming, rapid spiritual upgrades. Okay, so let's get a little bit of an activation in here before we kind of go into some other stuff, okay? So just inhale and exhale, and you can repeat this, which the highest always highly recommends, and then writing it down to solidify it for not just yourself, so you can embody it and speak it with authority, and it's sending your voice, your frequency, and energy out into the field, okay? It matters. It's sacred, whether you realize it or not. This is big work. All right, so we collapse all timelines that are not of the highest organic, divine, golden timeline now. We collapse all timelines that are not of the highest organic, divine, golden timeline now. All right, we emerge as my highest self. I emerge as my highest self now. Say this and embody this. Say this with authority and repeat this 3, 6, 9 times, whatever you feel called to. All right. I am not just becoming, I am remembering my essence in my soul. I am remembering the version of me who is aligned and powerful, abundant and awakened. I am remembering the version of me who is aligned, abundant, awakened, and powerful, and that already exists. All right? All right. This month, I merge with this frequency. This month, I merge with this frequency. I move beyond all limitations, and I step into this accelerated expansion. All right? There you go. You just been activated. All right. You activated yourself. You can do that. All right. We just amplify it, right? This different channels just help amplify that. Okay. So all that is. So if you've been seeing 911, 711s, again, that's the completion, new beginnings, new start numbers with the 911. The 711 is the introspection, spiritual insights. You've probably been receiving a lot of spiritual insights in some way, shape, or form, whatever is perfect for you. All right, you know that your intuition is hiding. You are physically feeling different. You just know things without the proof. You hear things, you see things with your two eyes as well as your third eye, okay? All right, there's an inner awakening, a quiet inner awakening that's taking place. So maybe about a year ago, so this is an anniversary type time for me, March, April for me for sure, is an anniversary of my first awakening. And now this next round has been more of a quiet, intuitive, inner guidance, calming type awakening. So you might feel like you're going through another awakening. And I heard this months ago that I was going to be going through another form of an awakening with these spiritual upgrades. So you might resonate with that, okay? So again, these numbers are just letting you know that you are awakening and you're in alignment with your higher path, okay? The other thing that I noticed yesterday, I noted here, and it might resonate, owls are significant. I've got that written down here at the top on the side notes. 11, of course, 1111, 2222, 369, 30, 60, 90 days. So it's been 90 days as of yesterday, if I calculated right, since January 1st. So I knew that there was something that was coming. 1144. All right. So victory is written under that. Victory of the ages is written. So I don't know what that is lining up to. Maybe that's significant for somebody. But the 369 method, maybe some of you are familiar with the 369 method, but the 30, 60, 90 was interesting because it dropped in for me yesterday. I was watching a movie or something, and this is what came in. Is when I worked with clients in the health and wellness business, nutrition, fitness, all of it, I said sometimes it takes like a 30, 60, 90 day approach. Like you're going to go through different transitions in these cycles, a 30-day cycle, a 60-day cycle, and a 90-day cycle, just to complete the cycle of when you start releasing those things that no longer served you and you start stepping into those things that now are serving you, whether that's nutrition, herbs, fitness, movement, mindset, whatever it is. So that resonated very well with what I used to tell clients, and even for myself, that when you're going through transition processes and transformation processes, it's 30, 60, 90 days. And I guarantee if you go back 30 days, you go back to the 1st of March, you go back to the 1st of February, and you go back to the 1st of January, and go, if you're journaling, you can go back and see, and you can look, and you can just be like, holy hell. Just even since the 1st of March, with all the cosmic convergences, all the portals, all the alignments, all. It was another big month. I know you hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. And sometimes you're like, okay, what the fuck? But it is so, so true. Okay, so there's something to do with this 369, this 30, 60, 90 days, and that this dropped in, and then my highest made me also connect that to what I would tell clients during their transformations, during their transitions, when they were bettering themselves, like letting go of and shedding the old versions of themselves and stepping into the newest first. So awakening, alignment with your higher path. All right. So take that and see where that hits, and then see how this quantum emergence feels, just in your clear knowing, what it sounds like in your clairaudience, in your maybe your claircognizance, and just your clairsentience. How does that feel on the system? And just take a pause with that, okay? So it is reality that is not fixed. It emerges from deeper layers of self consciousness, and an intention shapes your experiences. Small shifts equal big outcomes. Like the ego has always been programmed to think it's got to be a big thing to matter. But no, it's usually in these small baby steps. This is where the big outcomes happen, right? It's that one step at a time and keep moving forward versus one massive big outcome, okay? All right, remember, you're co-creating your reality in every now present moment, all right? And you're doing this, you're co-creating it, and reality is continuing to unfold, okay? The colors that came through were blue and pink, were calm, truth, communication, clarity, higher thoughts, okay? Pink is that compassion, that love, that emotion, that openness, okay, that softness, that connection. Do you feel like you are more deeply tapped in with your emotions? Do you feel like you are able to alchemize and transmute your emotions a lot better, right? Do you have more love for yourself, more compassion for yourself? Or do you feel more deeply connected to yourself, to the cosmic consciousness, to your higher consciousness, to source, creator, mother, father, God? All right. This together is that balance, that beautiful balance between the mind and the heart, the blue and the pink, right? So the astrology around today, because it is this, the super full moon is in Libra, and it is directly opposite of Aries, which is a very opposing energy, like air and fire. All right. The Libra is this harmony in relationships and balance. And then Aries brings action, individuality, and ignition, this very igniting, exciting, expansive type energy. All right. All right. So I'm just reading, just channeling from what I've written down. All right. Let's see here. So together, like I said, there's a polarity between Aries and Libra, but self versus others, or independence versus connection. All right. Also, dragons and unicorns have been coming in. So dragons are that power, transformative, primal energy, and this represents mastering self in chaos, like Eye of the Storms, mastering self in chaos. And unicorns bring this purity, unity, intuition, magic, and rarity. So you're tapping more into your own personal magic. You're seeing the magic. You know that you are a unique frequency, energy, flavor, color, and essence. And everyone is unique. Everyone is a unicorn, right? You're tapping more and more into your intuition. You just know. You don't need the proof. You just know. You see clearly, you know clearly, you hear clearly, and you feel clearly, okay? You might be getting clairtangent, smelling, tasting, all right? All right. Let's see here. So together with the dragon in the uniform, this is defined as more like raw power, which would be the dragon, and it's refined in its purity by the unicorns, all right? So putting together with the 911, the 711, which is the awakening and transition. So like I said, I knew this before I was getting confirmation through these codes that I was receiving and decoding them, that I am in alignment. Alignment has been coming in. Aligned, alignment, aligning. So depending on where you're at in your path, you could be in alignment, or aligning. All right. Also, this very gentle, calm awakening, deeply intuitive awakening, transition, quantum emergence, reality forming. All right. Reality forming dramatically, basically overnight. The colors blue and the pink that came through with this specific transmission is that intellect and the compassion, okay? The Libra and Aries is the balance between self and with others. Again, healthy boundaries. Dragons and unicorns is the power guided by purity. All right. All right. So the bigger picture with this interpretation, with this specific message is let's see here, transformation. You're in a transformation phase. All right. Awareness is increasing. Opposites are coming into balance. You feel more balanced. You're seeing things that show balance more. Maybe you're seeing the scales more. Maybe you're seeing the Two of Pentacles. Maybe you're seeing that infinity sign. You're seeing more signs and synchronicities that you are being, you are more in balance. All right. With the internal and external reality. Okay. So the power and the action of your identity is being refined. All right, by your compassion and by your wisdom. All right, reality is feeling very fluid-like and shifting and evolving very rapidly. Okay, all right. So let's see here. I'm just going to see what other I want to talk about this. Yeah, I think I'll leave that at this. I think. Let me look here. Just a second. All right. So. Yeah, as I look up, it's 1911. So it's that 911 energy. All right, yeah, I'm going to finish up this. It's going to be a little bit longer. So, to 1919. All right, so last night I clicked play on Divinely Aligned Collective's video, Courtney and Zero. If you're here from the Freak Speak Challenge, welcome. Thank you for hanging out. When I stopped labeling, or what's the word I want to say? Titling around that. I don't watch videos just because, and a lot of the videos more recently have not been in alignment with me because I'm in a different space. All right. and that's perfect. But last night I was guided to click play, which was hilarious because Courtney herself was saying, this sounds ridiculous, but I basically have been seeing these numbers, these birds, these colors on repeat, and I was guided to go deep dive, get the information, write it down, 'cause she's got her computer, I've got my journal, and translate that and channel the information. And I thought that was amazing because I have been doing that for like a week or two now, maybe longer. I don't know, it's been happening for a while. I've been getting these combinations of things, words, animals, colors, crystals, flowers, whatever it is, and I'm guided to go deep, and it's actually telling me information I already know, but just on a deeper level using the human words. So what came through was ravens. I like to say ravens or crows because they're pretty much the same thing. 999, 919, and 909, and like I said, 911 has been coming up, and there goes my throat chakra right now. All right, so the raven is the transformation, the rebirth, the shadow work. The messages, they are messengers between the worlds, the seen and the unseen, the conscious and the subconscious. So again, why am I noting this? Because that shows you how tapped in and tuned in I am in alignment, that I've been doing this already with my higher conscious, with source, with the cosmic consciousness for a week or two. And now there's a video in my feed showing me something I've already been doing, which is amazing. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's to the point, and I've said this in other videos, where I'm writing a word and I'm watching or listening to something completely different. And as I'm penning out that word, or if I just penned out that word is spoken. Has that happened yet? You're in divine alignment if that has. If not, you're going to start noticing that. All right. So the birds also signify intelligence and hidden knowledge, which is funny because she didn't mention this, but she mentioned squirreling, because I definitely associate with squirreling, where you're just kind of all over with your channel, or you're rambling, or you kind of go off topic and you come back, but that's just weaving the tapestry. That's how higher consciousness wants to maybe go off and then come back. It's again making those spiral loops. It's not linear. Okay, that's the whole point of it. So the more channels that are in kind of a less structured, less linear, and you're kind of like off tangent, but then it pulls back and it weaves together perfectly. All right, 2, 2, 2, 2 on the timer. Thank you for the confirmation. So when she said squirreling, I added squirrel for this message. And that squirrels are preparation, resourceful, planning ahead. All right, so your highest is planning ahead in that unconscious realm. More than likely, you're unaware of what's taking place because it's supposed to be a big surprise, all right? Squirrels are also representative of balancing between work and play, okay? Gathering your energy, resources for the future cycles, all right? So I guarantee there's a lot of this, again, hidden knowledge is taking place, this hidden planning that your highest and source and your team has been doing, right? But squirrels also represent very grounded and prepared. So they're very grounded and they're very prepared. And you probably see a lot of squirrels. Squirrels are big protectors for me. Of where I live, I have a lot of squirrels, okay? Squirrels represent awakening or stepping into your purpose. Does this resonate? All right. It also can represent closing chapters. Does this resonate? Completion, creation. All right. So we're going to be in this continuous creation completion cycle. Okay. Also stepping into your higher path. The 909 that was presented lined up with the other 9 numbers that have been coming from completion, spiritual service. So you're completing something and we are stepping into our spiritual service. This is spiritual service. You doing your healing work is spiritual service. You going out into the world and you being your real, raw, authentic self, being silly in the public, being silly in your family circle, that's spiritual service, okay? That's what you should be doing. You're done holding back, all right? You also are probably being nudged to align more and more with your soul's mission. Maybe you already are, or maybe this is just your confirmation that you need to just surrender and allow and continue to fall into whatever your soul's mission has got prepared for you, okay? All right, you are ready. All right, you are ready. Act on your calling. So you're ready. This is your confirmation. If you're still here at 2422, 2422, 2424, this is your confirmation that you are ready and it's time to act on those callings. When you get those papers, when you get that delivery, when you get that information from your highest, from source, it is time to act on it, okay? The indigo blue is that third eye, that chakra, all right? That's your intuition, your psychic awareness. Again, rapid acceleration in your abilities, all right? Your inner vision, your deep truth, perception beyond surface reality. So you see the truth beyond surface reality. You can perceive it clearly. You are a fucking walking lie detector walking lie detector, I guarantee it. All right? Trust what you're sensing, seeing, hearing, feeling, and knowing. Trust it beyond anything else, all right? You don't think, what's the word I've been using, what we've been using this word? You feel the truth, you don't think the truth. You know the truth, you don't think the truth. You hear the truth, you don't think the truth. You see the truth, you don't think the truth, okay? So the raven is awakening, transformation. The numbers are the endings and the new spiritual beginnings. The indigos, the blues, our intuition is being more and more activated and elevated. The squirrel is staying grounded with all of this during this preparation phase to what is next, okay? So staying grounded. Maybe you need to get a little grounded, okay? You've been going through massive recalibrations, realignments, recalibrations, alignments, and calibrated. So recalibrated with calibration, alignments, attunements, allowing this to all integrate so you can embody it. All right. You are being guided through these spiritual upgrade. Okay. So let go of those old versions. If you're still holding on to those old versions, you cannot cheat on your old. I heard this in a song this morning. You cannot cheat on the new version of yourself with your old version. You got to promise yourself that you are not going to cheat on your new version with the old identities. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so let go of those old versions. Don't look back. Keep walking forward. They're no longer for you. Okay, they serve the purpose, but they're no longer in alignment for what you're stepping into and who you are. So trust in all of your abilities. All right, you're knowing, you're clear feeling, seeing. All right, your inner vision. All right, and prepare for this new path, this new purpose. All right, get ready. So this is that get ready, rest while you can energy. Get ready to accept what is coming. All right, arms wide open, but rest while you can. Awakening in action. All right, so during this awakening, if you're called to action, go. All right. All right, let's see here. And continue to shift where your intuition is calling you. That's your quantum compass. So continue to listen to your quantum compass. All right. That's what's going to lead you and guide you always. All right. All right. So you definitely read energy before it's spoken in all the ways. Like you can read it from a mile away. You can see it, smell it, know it, whatever it is. All right. You see the truth before it's validated. All right. You move without needing external confirmation. If not, you're being guided to read energy before it's spoken. Trust it. All right. Trust what you're seeing before it's validated and move without needing external validation. All right. The proof is the upgrade. So if you're already going through this and this is how you roll, this is your proof of that you already upgraded. Okay. You've already been upgraded. All right. Your human software is not the same. Okay. All right. Continuing to allow the hardware to recode and to rewire as you continue to move on, all right? And I may do a light language if I'm called to on recoding and rewiring and reprogramming your hardware to help your hardware reprogram a little better. All right, so think of these words: recalibration, alignment, recode, decode, emergence, calibrated, installed, new hardware. Here we go again. Recalibration, alignment, decode, recode, emergence, calibrated, install, new hardware. Stabilizing now. There you go. Oh, beautiful souls. I love it when the team plays. So, thanks for hanging out, sharing your frequency, energy, co-creating and playing, and continue to trust in Source. My other deck, trust in Source, that Source is always with you, being leading you and guiding you. Your highest is always with you. So thank you for playing, co-creating, sharing your specific quantum medicine and magic with the collective that is receiving this specific message whenever, wherever it ends up landing for them, right? Because this is all together. We're doing this all together. 2929, 1111 energy. I love you. I am you. You are me. And we are we. I am proud of you and thank you. Bye.